Hey, morning, y'all. I don't know if it's morning where you're. I never actually stopped to think whether it's morning wherever you are. But anyway, a good day or a good night to you die-harders who's ready to hard with a vengeance here on the S&W Experience. This here is a review. Another one, man. I'm really starting to get into the swing of these. This review will be about Eternals, because I saw them about a week ago, and I didn't think I had much to say, but after sitting on the movie for a bit, not physically sitting on it because like it's not available on DVDs and stuff yet, but like after sitting on them and letting it ruminate in my thoughts for a bit, that fridge logic kicked in, and I realized, I got some shit to say about it, so. Hang in there, folks. I'm here to talk to you about the Marvel's Eternals. I say the Eternals. That's what the cover says. Marvel's Eternals, not the Eternals. Though that's what everyone says. Anyway, if you've been following these reviews, I start off with a non-spoiler review of the movie where I give my opinions on like the themes and whatnot, and then I go full detail with the spoilers here on in. So if you haven't seen the Eternals, I don't blame you. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Eternals, but you still want to hear the reviews, like stick in for the first part, but then tune out for the second. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All them nice things. We appreciate it over here on the S&W Experience. And now into the review. Uh, dog and carry, dog and carry, dog and carry. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, this is the non-spoiler review I keep saying the Eternals. It's like fucking Star Wars and Rise of the Skywalker. Is it the Rise of Skywalker or Rise of the Skywalker? Just no one knows. So I'm just gonna say Eternals. Yeah, Marvel's Eternals. Because for whatever reason, I keep slipping and saying Marvel's the Eternals, whatever. I feel like there should be a the. It's like in Silence of the Lambs. There in the movie, in the main title card, there's a the. Nobody calls it the Silence of the Lambs, and nobody calls Hangover the Hangover. It's just Hangover. Hangover Part One, two and shit. Nobody calls it the Hangover. But yeah, this is a movie that those movies are movies that should have dropped the, but this is a movie that should have had a the. You know, because if it's just Eternals, I mean, that's just a word. Like it's not really say much. You say the Eternals. Like, oh, okay, this movie's about the Eternals. That movie. It's like we're the Eternals. Like, if you say Eternals, you say that like it's supposed to mean something. You can say Avengers. You can say we're the Avengers. We're Avengers, and people know. Oh, that's what that means. But if you say we're Eternals, like, what are Eternals? If it's like we're the Eternals, it's like, oh, it sounds like a thing that I should be aware of, you know? Yeah. Anyway, this group is so red. Oh man, I feel like with the Eternals, I'm just gonna say that from now on. Okay, fuck dropping the. Anyway, with the Eternals, I feel like with Avengers and all those heroes and those three phases of MCU, there was like planning in advance, like several years of planning in advance. Cause like Iron Man 2 had that prototype shield that set up Captain America. Captain America had the super Oh yeah, the Incredible Hulk had the serum that also set up like Captain America, and Captain America set up another, and the Captain America, the first Captain America movie set up Cap becoming the Nomad. It's set up, it's just like these movies were built, and the sequels and shit were set up in previous movies. It wasn't the job of the first movie to set up the next movie, but it's like, with this phase, none of these movies have been. We haven't actually had movies. The only Marvel movie we've had was Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home. that movie kind of set up. I mean, Multiverse of Madness, but one could argue, yeah. That movie kind of set up Multiverse of Madness, but one could argue that WandaVision did that. TV shows set up shit in the future, but this Fate, it's not. They're not setting up things years in advance. It's more like setting something up that's coming soon. You know, like it's a year from now. You know, like how Hawkeye set up Echo or WandaVision set up Multiverse of Madness. Oh, it's more short term than the last phase, you know. But this had no setup at all. These characters were not hinted at or alluded to or foreshadowed or any fucking thing. They are brand spanking shiny new. They're new. Nobody's heard of these people. There isn't like some ancient ruin somewhere that Wonder Woman can stumble on explaining the whole thing. You know, none of these people, no one except Kinjo. You know, like kumailnanjiani's character, his character Kinjo, he plays a Bollywood actor. He's been playing the same. He's been like a Bollywood actor for the last like century, man. Like, thing is, the reason nobody finds it suspicious is because he keeps playing like, you know, like he explains it like that's his great you know, like when he first started doing movies, like that's his great grandfather, that's his grandfather, that's his father, and like now it's passed on to me. Like, I'm part of the greatest dynasty in the history of Bollywood. Oh, that's not really a plot detail, but it's a thing, you know. That's kind of known that he was an actor before. It would explain like what he's been up to, and the movie kind of does this. Oh wow, most of the movie. See, this was a thing, an issue I had with Fant Forstick in this movie, is that most of the movie is them getting the characters together. It isn't until the third act that all the characters are in the same place, you know? But, you know, this movie's got. Hey, this thing is, this movie is on par. It's better than Thor the Dark World, but not by much, because this movie's characters. This movie should be the craziest, like, trippy. I'm not saying it should be the trippiest, like, most wild and out crazy shit, but, like, there's a lot of, you know, like, I get it, there's a lot of natural lighting and everything, but everything's just so toned down, man. I think as you know, it was understandable for the first phase to not have like, CGI like CGI environments, you know, these beautiful places, or these vibrant, colorful characters and shit. It was okay in the first one, man. The MCU was still finding its feet, but once we got Guardians 2 and like Ego's planet and like traveling through all those different dimensions and shit, when we saw the crazy shit the CGI was capable of, you know, we kind of expected that to be the standard. I get it. Not every hero needs that shit. Hawkeye don't need to do that. That's a solid action series, man. Never thought I'd say that, man. Shit. Hawkeye didn't have that. You know, it wasn't even until the end that it started getting into some, like, all right, some classic superhero shit. You know, like, because up until then, it was like, I don't know. It was like Shane Black was doing this shit, man. It was like a really long Shane Black movie. Look, Shane Black is a great director. I mean, not all his movies reflect that. I mean, just, I'm sorry, it's like, I had something in my foot there. But like, yeah, anyway. I mean, WandaVision was a sitcom until it got towards the end, and then boom, you know, in comes the classic superhero shit. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I feel like it was more a political thing, you know, kind of like the movie Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It was more into like the politics and you know, the realities of being a hero. Now that they're not Avengers anymore, you know, I think that's kind of what it's been, you know, like. And then towards the end, it's like, right, you know, he's taking on terrorists, you know, he's blasting motherfuckers and shit, you know. It's cool, cool. But just this movie, I get it, you know, this phase, the movies start off, of the two movies I've seen. Oh, I forgot about Shang-Chi. It's different. Shang-Chi was different. You know, it didn't start off, No Way Home and, you know, Eternals started off slow. Let me say that. It starts off slow. Let me show you who the main character is. Let me give you a reason to give a shit. And, set up the plot. And then there's a point where the story fully, starts to kick in. I'm like, all right. In No Way Home, it was when the villains started showing up. That's when the movie, I can say, properly started. Because the stuff with dude trying to get into college and, people swarming him, you kill him Mysterio, can we, on the first watch, it's alright, but on the second one, it's yo, can we fast forward through this, man? There are those moments in a movie on a rewatch where you're I really don't want to see this again. Can we skip this, man? This doesn't really add anything for me. I'm not enjoying this. Yeah. So with, yeah, and with Eternals, it's kind of that thing, in the beginning, sure, there's them in Babylon. That's some character development, good parts. But, and we see them taking on the deviants. We see each, Eternal play their strengths. I can't remember his name. Big Asian guy punches the shit out of him. Thena uses her, strategy and whatnot in her spear. I think it's a spear. A halberd? I don't know, whatever. I think that's what it's called, a halberd. I don't know, but yeah, we see them each using their powers and seeing, okay, she does this, he does that. This is so and so, this is that person. We see the relationships they have back when they had a unified mission. In the beginning, that we see that in the beginning, who they were, and the movie doesn't open there. The movie, dude. Okay, let me say this. The movie's first act is kind of dull, and it's just how brown everything is, That's kind of what bugs me. It's when they're in Babylon, it's vibrant, it's bright, everything's, beautiful. It's not that it's brightly colored and everything. I'm okay, maybe the movie will take the rest of this, but then, once it gets to, the city, everything just gets so brown and subdued and toned down. I get and they're in regular street clothes and shit. But okay, I get it. You can't be fighting crime and shit in costumes and whatnot. But just in terms of the plot, there's not a whole lot going on until, boom, deviant, and now guy comes in to make save and whatever. So now, Cersei. Let me just round off the characters. The character of Cersei is not that interesting. The other guy, Icarus, he's. I think Honestly said it best. He's like Superman if he had to be convinced about the value of human life, That's kind of what that is. He's like Superman if you had to convince, but he's not the hopeful and fighting for a better tomorrow Superman. He's just, I don't know. He's Superman without any restrictions, without a regard for human life. That's kind of what he is. And Kitten Joe is, but at least he's, I'll get more into him later, but yeah, his powers are basically the same as Superman. He can fly, he can shoot lasers, he's really strong, or whatever. And Asian dude who can punch. I'm sorry about this. I don't remember anybody. I don't remember a lot of people's names. He can punch shit. It's he's essentially Asian Mario. Let me just say that, because it's like Asian Mario. He can punch the shit out of shit. Mario can punch too. He gets one of them magic mushrooms and whatnot. But yeah, and he's also a cook. But yeah, shit. I'm just gonna call him that, Asian Mario. You know what I'm talking about. It's it's a me, a Fisto or some shit. Anyway, moving on. The chick who runs really fast. I can't remember her name. I can't remember anybody's name. But she, she's kind of. She can. She can speak sign language. I remember that. That's the distinct thing I remember. She's really fast and she speaks in a sign language, and it kind of raises questions dude, a lot of these Eternals raise questions like, why would you? Okay, if you build beings that don't age and don't change, I'm gonna get to that later. But like, yeah, she's again, I'm stressing. Like the movie kind of just ditches this character. She doesn't get a whole lot to do, you know. Like I don't know when we first see her and everyone's trying to like get the band back together. She's just chilling on the ship, and we're to assume that over the centuries she's just been gathering a bunch of junk, taking it back here. Not junk, but like treasures and memorabilia over the years and just gathering it into this huge pile on the ship. Like, oh, that's what you've been doing all this time? I kind of guess that's what everyone else has been doing, but like, no, I mean, me and Tina and them were, and Asian Mario were just living, out in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, the Cersei was trying to live a normal life, but the dude lived by I can't remember anybody's fucking names. Damn. But the dude who was from Game of Thrones, I'm gonna call him Snow. I can't remember his name. I apologize. She was trying to live a normal life with Jon Snow. It doesn't end well. Let me just say that much. Any semblance of normalcy you try to have with Snow ain't gonna end well. But yeah. Moving on. Sprites is a kid who can make illusions and whatnot. So, Cersei's power is that she can turn things into other things. Like, turn, like, the street into, like, turn a solid concrete road into wet cement and then freeze that shit instantly, Like, it's basically changing shit, like a rock into water or like a rock into air or a rock into like it's like this character is so dull she can't provide interesting examples of the stuff that she can change things into. Like you could have just said like, oh, I can turn metal into gold, and you're like, nah, I turn rock into water, rock into what's with the rocks? I mean, what? uh, I mean, she does get badass towards the end. She does like fuck some shit up, but that's by accident. And that's kind of I'm gonna get into that later. This character, let me just say this: stuff doesn't happen. One thing, there are things that happen because of this character, but like mostly in some of the story with Cersei, stuff happens in spite of her. Like despite her, wanting to go against it or what the fuck ever. Shit just happens, and stuff happens to this character, not because of this character. And not Earn. Al. His name is Paperboy from Atlanta. He in here too. It's Marvel's first openly gay character. I guess. Yeah, it is. It is. It is Marvel's first openly gay character because the first lesbian character was Valkyrie, but they couldn't show that yet. They didn't yet have that fuck you money to to say, oh fuck you to censorship. They had to cut that shit because of like international censorship and whatnot. They hadn't yet gotten that level of credibility and fuck you money to not give a shit about censorship. So yeah, they didn't. They had to cut Valkyrie being a lesbian, but like they allowed this dude to like have a husband and a kid, and like apparently China or Russia or somewhere tried to change that. They were like, you gotta cut that from the movie, and they were like, no, this is the first time they were like, this is the first time they're ever like, no, we're not cutting it from the movie just so you can, peddle this image that you want to peddle. Like it's not normal. This is a normal thing. Fucking Pixar had this kind of thing with Toy Story where a character where one of the kids at kindergarten in the scene got dropped off by these two women, and it's like, okay, the two moms, they're a lesbian relationship, and got picked off by the two moms again. In one of the cuts in a different country, that scene's gone. Yeah, it's just gone, man. Like what the? It shows like okay. Some countries aren't as open minded as the fucking U.S. But then again, some of the U.S. isn't as open minded as the U.S. But politics aside, yeah. So he's the inventor of the group. He comes up with all these cool ideas. Like he invented like the steam engine. Like he came up with it like years, fucking centuries before anyone did. And they were like, maybe these people aren't ready for that. He's like, okay, here, like he's kind of degrading that he has to come up. He has to like lower himself down to like, here, a plow. They can use it. They're farmers here. They can use that to like, plow fields. It's like, hey, yeah, there are some farmers near, but they could definitely use that. Good job, good job. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like someone asking you not to perform to the best of your abilities when you actively want to. It's like a writer being told, instead of flexing your creative muscles and coming up with like something new and creative that breaks the mold, we want you to follow this checklist of like themes and how to write a story. We want you to follow this how to guide or something. Like, yeah, but it's not like challenging me or anything. I'm just doing basic shit that anyone can do. It's like, yeah, but that's people aren't ready for like the work you put in where you've really tested yourself. They want the simple shit. Just do that, man. You're really good at that. That's what we need right now. Don't worry. Your time will come. Shit like that, man. Or like when Shayna Baszler worked this hard hitting match with Natalia, and then when she got backstage, like Vince McMahon said, like he loved it, but he needs you to go back and redo it and just have a normal match this time. Like, why? I mean, like, oh, it's only Raw, man. Like, don't bother doing anything special on a random episode of Raw. Like, save that shit for pay per view. Just tune in. Just totally phone it in. It's fine. You don't have to go all out. It's only Raw. Just yeah. The state of that company, man. What kind of shit is that? That's like a teacher. That's like a teacher giving you shit for writing a paper worthy of an A. It's like, don't bother doing that, all right? Just go for a B, man. Like just get a B minus. Just totally. I'm gonna half-ass that shit. Just, whatever. But yeah, and yeah, Druig. Druig is his character. That guy sucks. Everybody says that. Like, Druid sucks. He most certainly does so. Like, I agree, man. That guy kind of has a point. But he sucks, man. Like, he's kind of a dick about it. Shit. He's got a point, but he's kind of a dick about it. But, like, here's the question. Like, man, like, why do we have to just sit back and watch this shit? Like, why do we have to just sit back and watch cities get destroyed? Why do we sit back and watch human beings treat each other like shit? I can literally make them do whatever I want. I can make them stop fighting. I can make them be nice to each other. Why don't we do that? Why aren't we, actually doing something? It's like, oh, we can only intervene when deviants are involved. It's like, bullshit, man. I'm leaving. I'm doing my own thing. Fuck this. I'm gonna have my own community. Everything's gonna be chilled. It's gonna be a nice little cult in the middle of nowhere. That's essentially what he was doing, man. He was WandaVisioning, man. Wanda may have done it best, but like Drug did it first. He had that whole town under his control. Just going about their lives. This is a scene like, anyway, whatever. He's dick, but he's got a point. Let me just say that. This guy sucks. He's got a point. And I hate that shit. I hate that that the guy who sucks is the guy who has a point. It's the guy like, yeah, I get it, man. In your shoes, if I had them, this is the guy where you're like, if I had that power and I was in his shoes, like, yeah, I get it. I probably would have done the same thing. But he still sucks. Just, fuck, man. What is this shit? Moving on. So, the music of the Eternals I didn't really vibe with that. I barely realized there was any music until, like, the fight started, man. Like, I mean, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's forgettable. Let me say that. It isn't until the one later on in the film, in the third act, the music really starts to pick up the pace. Like the stakes are raised, man. Like, all right, let's go. This has got like that feeling to it. Like, all right, this is some proper superhero movie shit. This is that soundtrack we've been waiting for. Let's go. Let's go. I need to chill. This movie isn't that great. Yeah, it's good. It's better than you think, but it's not that great. Let me just say that. Sum it all up. This movie isn't bad. In fact, it's better than you think it is. But it's not that great. It's not as great as it could be. Let me say that, you know? Out of oh shit! I totally forgot about Summer Hayek, man. Well, to be fair, most of the movie did. Shit, this movie just shit. Anyway, Summer Hayek's character is the character who can connect with the Celestials. You know, like she can talk to them. It's essentially like she's essentially like I don't know, the lieutenant in the or the chief in the police station who has like to answer to like the chief of like not the chief like the commissioner or like like I need to like we can report to the commissioner like let him know how we're doing down here or I need to ask him like what's going on. Just or she's if this was a sports team she'd be the quarterback and like in direct contact with the coach. Like the team captain directly like talking to coach. Okay, coach, what's the plan? What we got to do? Like shit like that. It's kind of like that. She's the main eternal. She's in charge of them all, keeping them all in check. Making sure they don't go crazy. You know, that's in the wrestling world. She'd be the general manager of the fucking Eternals. See, yeah. That's kind of an apt description. The general manager, and I guess the Celestials would be the board. Like the board of directors, and like Harsham would be the Vince McMahon. Just yeah, I guess so. That's kind of an apt description. For those who are unaware, I am a wrestling fan. In case the several references didn't get you there. Anyway, so music wasn't great. The acting was actually pretty solid. Not from everybody, but like there was okay. A lot of jokes didn't land. There was one. There was a part where the parts with like Kinjo and his valet. Those were pretty good. And like Kinjo making his own little movie, that was nice. And story lagged in some areas, and it felt like it sort of in the ending just sort of wrapped itself up. That's what I said. That's what I meant when I was like, stuff happens despite this, in spite of this character, not because of this. Stuff happens to this character, not because of this character. It's like my teacher told me like that's how you spot the protagonist of the story. Stuff happens because of them, not to them. Just and how you spot the difference between a good and a bad protagonist. A bad protagonist is stuff happens to them, not because of them. So yeah. Anyway, in the end, I gotta say that I would give the Eternals. Man, I give the Eternals fucking a 5 out of 10 Celestials, man. Just it ain't a bad movie by any means. It's just not as good as it could be, 5 out of 10 Celestials. That's just me. Anyway, this has been the non-spoiler review of The Eternals on the S&W Experience. Spoiler review is coming up soon. And here we go. We are back! Remember that line from Dexter TV series? I think it was the last season. Maybe the second to last season, but there was a season where they were raiding the strip club. And this detective Guevara, what was that? No. The character played by David Zayas. He walks in. Because this is like, the thing is, he was trying to pressure the strip club owner into like giving something up. Or like, he's saying, well, we gonna keep coming back here and searching this place and disturbing your customers and disrupting your business until you give us something, man. We're gonna keep coming back until we find something, alright? And like, he just walked in. And he hasn't even said anything. You can see the strip club owner in the corner. He's like, shit. And he's like, we are back. And everybody's just like, all right. Because they know the standard procedure by now. They know like, take the mugs in. You immediately getting your fucking hands up. Just like, shit, man. Just, in your pockets or shit like that. They gonna search you, whatever. But yeah, we back. I'm gonna say we. I'm the only one talking, but yeah, it's back, people. The spoiler review of the Eternals. Straight away, the Earth is fucked by the end, man. How the that ending, man? I'm gonna jump around with this one. Jump around, jump around. Everybody in your garbage bags, jump around. There's a scene in this movie that Nicolas Cage was in with that guy from CSI Miami, and he was wearing garbage bag over his chest, so he wouldn't get blood on him. And this rap song was playing in the background. I can't remember who it is, but like who's in it. But like I remember the song. Like the song was playing, like. He's like, get up, let me throw your hands up when you get the feeling. Jump across the ceiling, jump around. And the kid was beating the shit out of this guy. Like, you got something to say? Huh? You got something to say? What the? Anyway, I'm gonna jump around in time with this. From the movie's beginning to the middle, the end. The beginning, end, blah, 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 all over the place. This movie's all over the place. Damn, they hop through time rather than showing us the Eternals past from the start and then working our way to the middle. We start in the present day, is what they call it. Or in this case, 2019. I guess that's because they started filming. So yeah, it's 2019. Not a mask in sight. So that's how I know it's 2019. Late 2019, early 2020. Ain't a mask in sight. The streets are full of people. Yeah, I mean, nowadays the streets are full of people, but you will see the occasional mask. In a shitty country, you'll see like maybe 2 or 3 masked people. But in a country that's really taking this shit seriously, everybody gonna be masked up. Matter of fact, most people won't even be at home. Because that's what you should be doing, motherfuckers. We in the... I don't want to talk about it, alright? I don't want to talk about the global bastard. Good name for it, by the way. The global bastard. Fuck COVID-19. Let's just call it the global bastard, motherfucker. Yeah. Moving on. Starts with Cersei as a history teacher and just living life. I think Sprite's in her class, which is at the end it raises a question: why is Sprite going to school? Isn't she like thousands of years old? She's smarter than everybody in that fucking room, man. Like, why is this happening? Is this really the best thing for this character? And it's like, well, now you can age. We should probably put you in a school since you look like a kid. No, man. Or is this a case of, well, I don't want her hanging around? Or is this just because Kingo didn't want her hanging around him all day, every day? So he just stuck her in a school somewhere. I think that's kind of it. Because in the movie, at some point when they meet Kingo, they're on this plane. She was like, you ditched me in like Mumbai or Morocco or some shit. And he was like, I think he had to do his own thing. Like he didn't want her following him around. Like just everybody just wanted to do their own thing. Which raises the question: once the Eternals split up, and they're like, we're done with this. Like all the deviants are gone. Why didn't they just go home? I know that they can't go home. There is no home to go back to. They're robots made by, Harrison, but dude, wouldn't at least one of them be like, hey, now that this is done, let's go home. But you said we leave once all the demons were killed. Now they dead. We just go. Let's get out of this motherfucker. We can't intervene in human lives anymore, so we may as well just peace out. Nobody would say that. I mean, fuck, dude, but like... it's like Babylon. I mean, during the Babylon times, nobody would talk like that. But yeah, fucking somebody should have been like, why can't we just go home? Like, and and I can't remember anybody's names, but the quick one, she is like sitting in the ship collecting all this stuff, and like when they come across her, it's like, you want like we going home now? Just yeah. Yeah. Oh, like I know some names. Like Selma Hayek is Ajak. Richard Madden is Icarus. Gemma Chans Cersei. Angelina Jolie is Athena. Kit Harington is listed as Black Knight. He ain't. I know he's the dude who he'll become Black Knight. Somewhere down the line, but he's not Black Knight in this movie. He doesn't even touch the sword. Like the scene at the end with him like looking at the sword. And he's about to touch it, and you see it like moving towards him, and it's like liquid on it. It's like, are you sure you want to do that, Mr. Whitman? That scene right there, like we know who that is. We know who that is. Why they only got him doing the voice, I don't know, man. You couldn't. have the camera pan back to show. I think they didn't do that because they didn't know what he'd look like. They haven't yet settled on what Mahershala Ali's blade will look like. So that's why he's only doing a voice role, you know? Because, like, the only reason they do that is if they don't want to reveal it too soon. Like with Kingpin. Like in the episode of Hawkeye, we only saw a hand. Like, everyone was like, it's gotta be Kingpin, it's gotta be Kingpin. The uncle, like, is taking the chick to school, like, it's gotta be Kingpin. We saw, like, the suits. We didn't see the suit. We saw the suit sleeve. We saw the big ass hand. It was either gonna be Vincent D'Onofrio or, well, it's gonna be Big Show. I'd have laughed, man. I'd have laughed my ass off if the camera panned around to reveal Paul White in a big white suit as Kingpin, all clean shaven and shit. That would have been so cool. That would have been good for a laugh. For like, come on, dude. Maybe he'll do a what if. Maybe we can get a live action what if with him as like a Kingpin variant. Yeah. Let's do that. Hey Marvel, you listening to this? It's highly unlikely. Okay, let me rephrase that. Hey Marvel fans out there, let's start a campaign. Like get Big Show in the Marvel What If series. Have him play Kingpin over there. Because. Or, we could have a pan into a different universe and then we see Big Show slugging it out with Tom Holland or something. I don't know. It'd be something. Just give me something. Give me Big Show in the role at least once, man. Come on. Come on. You can get Tom Cruise as Iron Man. You can get Big Show as Kingpin, dude. Man. Moving in. Moving back in. See the Eternals shit. Yeah. Gilgamesh dies, and I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth because prior to his death, like he was living with Angelina Jolie out in the desert. She was suffering from a thing called mad weary. It's like their PTSD. And Butterfly Effect had the same thing. The Ashton Kutcher movie. That movie isn't a bad movie. It's actually it's a good movie from start to finish. It's just not fun. Like you're not gonna enjoy this. You're not gonna say, wow, I wanna see. It's one of those movies where you're like, that was great, but I don't wanna see it again. It's got hard to watch moments. Moments where you're like, hey, this is really hard to watch, man. I don't wanna see this. But yeah, anyway, moving forward. Yeah, she's living with Gilgamesh out, and she's suffering from mad weary because like all her in the Ash Kutcher movies, he travels through time like 3 times, and like when he returned to the future, all the stuff he did in the meantime, all those memories flushed into his head. So because he went back multiple times, he had like and each time there was like a 20-year jump. He had like 20 years worth of new memories each time. So by the time he got back to like the future of the final time, he had the brain of like an 80-year-old dude or something, like something along those lines. He had like 80 years worth of memories, like they were showing like neural pathways and shit. But with the Eternals, it's much worse, cause they've had fucking centuries upon centuries. Let's just say a few millennia of memories in their fucking heads. At some point, like, the brain has limits. Even the brain of a robot, dude, like, there's only so much storage space you can take up before it starts to fuck with you. Like, a phone can only take so much raw data before it starts to slow roll it. But in this case, she's not slow rolling it. It's like she starts freaking out and she, hallucinates that she's on, like, a different planet, and the planet's, like, under attack, and the people near her are trying to kill her. At that point, the people near her are the other Eternals. And she, like, tries to kick shit out of them. Like this. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, this character, right away, I'm like, this character is a liability. Why do you shouldn't have them with you. Like keep the subway away from the action. And no. don't keep them somewhere away from the action. Keep them somewhere away from you. Like, don't be near them. Like, because they could kick off at any moment. You don't know when. Like she's not crazy. Because afterwards, she's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Like, "I'm so sorry." She's a good person. But like when her eyes roll back, and eyes go white, and she like goes crazy, starts hacking people that are on the team, then it's like, you're a someone should have been like, this person is a liability. We need to like keep them. It's like a soldier in an army movie who's suffering from. It's like that guy in Wonder Woman who suffers from PTSD. It's he doesn't get a cure. It's not like there's a moment in the film because like he gets the shakes like really often, or like I don't know. I can't properly explain it, but he's not the man he used to be. Like the war has like traumatized him, and the movie, like I praise that movie because there's no moment in the film where he's just like cured, snaps back into action, starts like kicking ass, like just it's like, hey, he's fucked up. Like getting him back into this battle isn't going to help. It's, if anything, it's kind of making shit worse on him, man. Like, by the end of the movie, he's got a lid on it. It's not solved. He's not cured, but like, he's got more of a lid on it. It's just, yeah. And in this film, it's like with Angelina Jolie's character, the theme, remember, is because like she has all these memories going on in her head of like thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, like whatever. It's like dementia, essentially. Like, what if? Yeah, it's kind of like, what if a superpowered, a superpowered being had dementia and like hallucinated that they were being attacked, and they just lost their shit and around their friends. Who's gonna stop them? Like, who's gonna, keep them in check? Gilgamesh was that guy. He was the. It very much gave me like Natasha and the Hulk. The, hey there, big guy. The sun's getting real low. Oh, that was just Deadpool, man. I'm sorry. That movie has ruined that bond, dude. Whenever I see that, hey there, big guy, sun's getting real low, I just think Deadpool on the trucker. It's like, hey there, big guy, sun's getting real low. Oof. Oh shit. Like, yeah. Like Deadpool just be like, I'm gonna rip your head off and shove it up the old guy's ass or some shit. It's like, I believe him. Run. And he would. He's the juggernaut, bitch. He would do that shit. Oh, damn. Oh, man. This is fun. I mean, the movie was. Yeah, there's moments, but like some of the jokes didn't land. Like Kingo, mind you, not Kinjo. Like I said in the beginning, Kinjo was that guy from The Hunted. It's played by John something. I can't remember his name, but it's like, he's a great actor. I really should remember his name. Look up the movie The Hunted. It's a lot like Hugh Jackman's The Wolverine. Think about it. The American guy in Japan winds up running afoul of the Yakuza. There's a fight on. They try to kill him. They don't succeed. There's a fight on the train where they try to kill him. They don't succeed. There's a woman like helping him along the way. The role played by Hiroyuki Sanada. That character is like, like, I mean, shit. No. This ain't it. That's not it. That's not right. That's not a comparison. The character in that movie that is using him is using Christopher Lambert's character as bait in that movie would be more properly compared to the character. I think not Steven Yeun. It's the guy. The Fox is that guy, the archer guy. That guy. That's a better comparison, I'd say. And Mariko is the woman who's helping out Logan in a similar way to the woman who was in Crying Mason. I think that was one of the movies. Like, she is helping out Christopher Lambert's character. Essentially, Christopher Lambert's Logan. I can't remember it. John Lone. Yeah, John Lone is Kinjo. And this one, Kinjo is the Silver Samurai. So just, it's a good movie. Check it out. It's awesome. Anyway, to the Eternals. Yeah, Kinjo. I like the fact that he's been a Bollywood guy playing. Like, oh, that was my grandfather, that was my father, and now it's me. I'm part of the greatest dynasty in all of Bollywood. Like, it tracks. Yeah, we'd buy that. It's a believable thing. Man. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. So, okay, with Gilgamesh dies, it's sad. You're like, fuck, dude, he died. It got him. He died because like Angelina Jolie was tripping out and like trying to kill her friends, and like he had to subdue her. But to do that, he had to like turn his back on one of the deviants, and like when the deviants got him. But like while it was killing him, she snapped out of it. Thing is, when she's high or white, she'll kill anybody fucking near her. But like once it counts, like, hey, it would be really good for you to freak the fuck out now and start killing shit, because this thing is killing your friend. It would be really cool if you do that right now. It's like she snaps out of it and she's like, oh my god. You're like, oh my god. You're like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, what the fuck? This shit literally pops out when it would be least convenient for the story. I know, like, there are moments in movies and shit, that stuff just happens, like, oh, well, that's convenient. Or well, isn't that convenient? It's like, well, ain't that just some inconvenient shit right now? Like, of all the times you could freak out, it's now? Really? Just, oh. Anyway, but yeah. By the end of this movie, I guess she is just cured. Because she finally, like, there's a thing like, remember who you are. Like, remember who you are. It isn't until dude dies, it's just like, I remember who I am. And then, when the thing tries to take her power, she kills it. And, it's like, finally this moment of like, I think her mad weary is cured because she remembers who she is. But that's not the issue. The issue isn't her remembering who she is. The issue is the remembering. The remembering is the fucking issue, dude. Like, she has so many fucking memories, she can't keep anything straight anymore. Like, yeah. But like, anyway, moving on. And the leader, after Ajak dies, Selma Hayek's character, after she dies, her powers pass on to Gemma Chan's character, Cersei. This character's not that. This character sucks as a leader. Just, fuck, dude. Like, what? Like, what? There are moments in the movie where she has an opportunity to step up, and other characters have to be like, don't worry, I got this. Or like, oh, I have a plan. Not, okay, we gotta figure out. No, it's always like, oh, like the fucking Paperboy, I can't remember his character's name, but Paperboy comes in and is like, all right, I got a plan that might knock out Celestial, blah, blah, blah. He says, like, and she's like, no, I can't do it. Like, you're supposed to be the leader. Like, you're supposed to be, this is the time for an inspirational speech or some shit. You're demoralizing. This character is actively demoralizing this team. Like, I can't do this. Like, what the... I get it. You don't think you have the power to do that. You don't know. It would have been, if you just said, I don't know if I can do that, it would have been alright. Uncertainty. But the certainty of, I can't do this, it's like, well, fuck it. If you can't do this and you're our leader, you were chosen to, like, be the link between us and them, like, fuck, well, what can we do? It's just like, and she lets this shit happen. Fucking Icarus literally turns his back on the team and takes Sprite with him, and she just lets that shit slide. She doesn't even try to stop him. It just kind of stands there. The movie, at multiple times, cuts to her reaction to something happening, as opposed to cutting to her reacting. Just fucking don't even react. It's like, no. It's like this thing with Kowalski from Penguins of Madagascar. Like, Skipper was like, and Kowalski was like, think, Kowalski, think. He was like, what do I do? What do I do? And Skipper was just like, no, don't think, man, act. Like, I'm just looking at this character, I'm like, don't react, act, do something. Just stand in his path, like, like, grab his arm, like, say something. Just, shit. When did this stop being fun? Anyway, moving on. Shit, man. Anyway, so, they come together at the end. They join their powers into the Unimind. I really think they should have called it the Brainstorm, because, Brainstorm! Here's a display of celestial power that I know you'll get a charge of. For all my Ben 10 Alien Force fans out there. Shit. God damn. Anyway, the Celestial is about to pop out and like clusterfuck the planet. Blow the. It's gonna just burst out like. Like fuck. It's like basically the discount Doomsday from Batman vs Superman. No, it's not even discount Doomsday. That motherfucker is a discount abomination. That's what he is. Turns out they were robots created by Harisham to help the Celestial bust out of the planet like, I don't know, man, a chicken popping out of the egg, like, fucking up everything, killing all life, so that Celestial can make more planets. Like, just, okay. I mean, it's the Troy situation, that's like there's a trolley, the trolley coming down. Track. There's two tracks. One track has like one person in it. The other track has a bunch of people in it. The train is gonna go down one of these tracks. Like which track you let it run over? You let it run over the track with one dude, or you let it run over the track with a bunch of people on it. Stop, because if you let this Celestial bust out, it's gonna kill billions of people on Earth. But like if this Celestial is born, it'll create worlds with trillions upon trillions of new people. If you don't let the Celestial come out, you'll save billions, but the trillions upon trillions of people who could have been born, and many more planets that could have existed that won't exist. So like shit, needs of the many or needs of the few? Needs of a universe or the needs of a planet? This is fucked up, man. Like this. Anyway, the Deviant kills Gilgamesh and he transforms. He evolves. Comes a humanoid form voiced by Skarsgård. Yeah, Skarsgård. I can't remember which thing. Is it Peter? I don't know. One of the Skarsgårds, the clown from It. So yeah, he's like, oh, like I understand you now. Like I can talk. I got 4 eyes. I got arms, legs. I can stand. I got a 6-pack abs, even though I took power from a fat dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. But anyway, Arnold's dude, the worst fucking shit in this movie. There's a scene in this movie where Druig's got the people under his control. They all got shotguns, and they're blasting the fuck out of this one deviant. It's pinned down. It can't move out, and he's controlling these people with shotguns to blast the fuck out of this thing. Just boom, boom, like all in sync at the same time. And at that point, fucking Cersei comes in and she's like, "Stop! You gotta let these people go, man." Like, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? The thing is on the ropes, man. They got him. They got him pinned down. It's on the ropes. What the fuck are you doing? And it's like, nah. I'm just like, now you want to let the people go? Like, oh, fuck it. He lets them free, and he pieces out, and he tells them to run. Oh hell, man, the fucking whatever. This character is just. Anyway, moving on. He's like, I kind of relate to Druig's character since like. He's the one sort of who just doesn't give a shit anymore. Who generally doesn't give a shit. Like, oh man, it's like, he's like, you just told me that we're not even alive, like we're robots and we were created and like the world's gonna end right now. There's nothing we can do about it. So excuse me if I don't give a fuck about your plan. Because, this character sucks, but like, he's got a point. You just got told that you weren't even born, dude. You're a robot. You're not even human. You're not human. You're a machine created to serve like an alien race that seeking to destroy the planet so it can create more planets. Your world's gonna end and there's nothing you can do about it. All the time and energy you've invested into this place, all the care you put into these people is gonna be for fucking naught. Just like your life don't mean shit. That's essentially what's being told to him. So like, you'll excuse him if he's not too jazzed about it. That's the thing. Everyone else is way too chilled about this shit. It's like, oh, we're not real. Damn, that sucks. Like, oh, planet's gonna end. Like, damn. Like, they need a minute and then they move on. He's the only guy who's like, hey, fuck this plan. I don't give a shit, man. I'm just gonna. It's like, well, Like, fuck you. It's like, I don't give a shit about your plan. I'm just gonna, like, whatever, continue doing my thing until the world ends. Yeah. So they make the Unimind, and Kingo just pieces out. It's like once Icarus turns on him and he leaves, he's like, guys, we're going up against Icarus, and if after that, like, we gotta try to take down Celestial, man. Like, nah, I'm done. Like, come on, guys, it's Icarus. I mean, it's not much. It's like there's not much we can do. Even with my help, you're not gonna. They did it without him. They formed the Unimind, helped out, and they froze a Celestial in place. Or did they? Cause like when Cersei was doing the thing, and she turned the Celestial into what I'm assuming is a big ice mountain or something. She was like, the Celestial bonded with us. Like he helped us doing the thing. It's just, and again, she didn't convince the Celestial to do this or nothing. He just did it. Stuff happens in spite of this. Stuff happens to this character, not because of this character. Oh, shit, dog. Hey. It's, anyway, afterwards, she's talking to Kit Harington's character, and, reconnect with your old man, and, they're talking, walking in the park, and the Celestial appears in the sky, snatches them up, and flies off with him. And the other Eternals who left on the spaceship, shit, I don't know, man, shit. And the other Eternals who were on the spaceship, they meet up with Starfox. This is Athena, Druig, the fast one. They're all on the spaceship, and they meet up with Starfox and his little friend Pip. It looks fucking horrible, dude. The CGI is bad, man. Like, his face is just so... like, Patton Oswalt does not look like that. Jesus. They meet up with Eros, played by Harry Styles. He just rocks up. Let me be upfront with you people. This guy, when I found out, like, yo, Harry Styles is gonna be in this movie. Like, what? He's playing Eros. He's Thanos' brother. I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna tune in. Because I didn't want to see this movie. The trailer, the promotional material, marketing, none of that convinced me to want to see this movie. But the knowledge of, oh yeah, Harry Styles is in here. Like, what? It's Thanos' brother. Like, oh. Alright, I'm gonna see this movie then. I'm gonna see what all the fuss is about. So yeah, people, I only saw this movie because I found out Harry Styles was gonna be in it. Oh shit. What does that say, man? What does that say? You only tuned into the movie because you found out, like, oh, the one dude's in it? That means if he wasn't in it, I wouldn't have tuned in at all. I'm just been like, oh well, that happened. Shit. I'll let the other movies fool me in on what happened in this movie. Anyway, so Earth is fucked. There's a giant celestial that just frozen on the surface. Like, that's seriously gonna fuck with everything? How is that not gonna fuck with everything? Seriously, how does the mere existence of characters like Athena and Thor and them not fuck with how people perceive religion and whatnot? Just, oh man, that's a question for another time. Anyway, this movie didn't really use Salma Hayek a whole lot. I feel like it could have, And some of the marketing, well, a lot of the marketing, positioned Jolie like she was the main character. Because it showed that scene where Jolie was talking to the demon, he's like, you can't save them. I think she was narrating trailer 2. I don't know, I have to go back and rewatch that. But it's like, it positioned her like she was the main. But nah, she's not the main character. She's one of the main characters, but she's not the main character. And the movie kind of suffers. Now, the fight with Icarus was good. Think about it, that's was good. Like, all right, we're into this shit now. Icarus flying around, trying to fuck shit up. Stop the Eternals from saving the planet. Trying to stop the emergence and whatnot. That was good. Sprite using her illusions to like trick her, to try and trick Cersei and like stabbing her in the back. Can the Eternals self-heal? Because like Cersei was their healer, but like they sustain injuries even throughout the thing. and then healed his. I mean, Gilgamesh died, and like Cersei got stabbed in the back. She just like, oh, I'm good now. Just brush that shit off. Oh shit. But yeah, man. I remember Paperboy. Can't remember his name, so I'm just gonna call him Paperboy from Atlanta. His character like was done with humanity after like Hiroshima, and he was like, I did this. Like I'm responsible for all this. Like I gave them the technology needed to do this. Like I advanced them enough that they could do this, man. Like caused war. I'm responsible for all this death. I'm done with these fucking people. Like this, I'm done doing this because me interfering is what led to this. That was his, and it was understandable. Like if it's kind of like what the dude said when he created the bomb. What's his name? Eisenhower? No, not Eisenhower. What's this? The dude from the Manhattan Project. Eisenhower was the president. I remember. Oppenheimer, I think his name was. He was like, "I am become death, destroyer worlds." I remember Einstein was like, "If I knew the devastating power of the thing that I was building, if he had known what this thing was capable of and what they're gonna do with it, he never would have built it." I guess that's his big regret. I think his name is Festus. I don't know. I think so. But like that's his thing, his regret. Like, man, if I'd known, I wouldn't have done this. If I'd known it would result in this much death, I wouldn't have, bother stepping in. But yeah. So so that's it. I mean, I don't got a lot else to say. The first hour was kind of slow. Movie kind of. Then there was the whole "let's get the band back together" thing. Can't really have a "let's get the band back together" if we don't know what the band was like before they split up. Just yeah. Even Blues Brothers, they didn't do this. Like, I think Blues Brothers got away with that. Because like we're getting the band back together. Because they're an actual band. This is like set in the present day. It's like, hey, we're getting the band back together to do this gig. That was the thing because we met the bandmates as it happened. Like shit. We didn't get like flashbacks showing us what they were like, but it worked. And remember that story because we didn't need to see the band back when they were in their heyday. We know that hey, Blues Brothers is good, which means the guys they must have played with were good, and we don't need to know anything else. We get a little snippet into their personal lives, like the guy working at the diner, the guy with the 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Shit. Remember that guy. Shit, I remember that fucking song. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Anyway, so yeah. But this movie, in a movie set in it, that was an isolated movie. That movie didn't need a prequel explaining who the bandmates were and like why they had to be out. But this movie does. This movie is set in a universe. Like, at least foreshadow some of these fucking characters before giving them their movie. Like just I get the intention was to have an ensemble movie without doing crossovers and shit, but you have to at least like give me a little tease or something, man. Can't just jump straight into the full-on nitty-gritty of it all, man. Shit. Can't just be showing up ready to bust a nut on the motherfucker. Nah. There's no foreplay, no nothing. Just like, come on. I'm sorry. I got weird towards the end. I'm gonna wrap this up before it gets any fucking weirder. As always, this has been the S&W Experience. I am the Shogun, and I will not rest until everybody knows about the S&W Experience podcast, available on Spotify, Anchor, and now YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Anyway, this has been S&W Experience Review on the Eternals, and like I said earlier, I give this movie 5. Fuck it, man. I gave it 5 out of 10 slips. That's 5.5. Yeah, let me say, I give this movie 5.5 out of 10 Celestials. That's my rating of this film. It's not a bad movie, but the good things that it does could have been done better. Let me just leave it at that. For movie, let me leave it at that. 5 out of 10 Celestials. This has been the S&W Experience Reviews. And, as always, people, you can't make dill bread without dildo.